Greetings, mighty companions. I am back here by the stream, and I have to speak up a little more this week because the stream is running harder than it was last week. There she is. Now, this beautiful stream I was showing to you last week, I'm using it again this week to make a point. As you saw in the second Easter video, this is a pretty pristine place here, and this stream is really very beautiful to live by. However, if you live in this yard, you also live in this house, which is my girlfriend's house, and in 2006 this stream flooded the house, and that was a big deal. It was a major disaster. Now, the reason I mention this is because what I want to make a point about today is the objection that a lot of people have to the Christian language in A Course in Miracles. And it's pretty intense. It's a very easy way for people to get turned off to the Course because of how it's written, the symbolic language it's written. Now, I'll just say for the moment that the reason the Course is written in a Christian language, or one of the major reasons, is because it is actually providing a correction to the Bible. And I don't mean to be saying things that are easy to object to, but this is the point. If the Christian language of A Course in Miracles puts you off, it could really save you a lot of time if one could step past that objection. And so I want to use Terry's garden, my girlfriend Terry. I want to use her garden to make a point about this, and her stream. Today is Sunday, 1 week from last week's beautiful sunny day. Today it's cold. It'd be very easy to object to the coldness of today, given that it's the 18th of May. Well, Friday night, this stream almost came over again. It came within 3 feet of coming over the wall. And that is duality in its prime. We have this beautiful stream, and then we have its destructive ability. And we get so used to this. We get so used to this. I'd also like to make a point about our collective lives, the things we have in common. If you look at the last just 3 months, I made a little list here. I made a little list of the disasters that have happened on a very big scale in our lives. Now, this isn't even counting the weather. Here we have the Malaysian jet, 239 deaths. The kidnapped girls in Nigeria, 223. The ferry accident, I think it was in South Korea, 290 dead. A lot of children. Schoolgirls, a lot of children. The miners in Turkey, just last week, 300 people dead. Okay, here's the point. Look at this. That's what's come through our collective consciousness in the last 2 to 3 months. That doesn't even count natural disasters. And so in my mind, I object to all these schoolgirls getting killed, kidnapped. Here's the point I'd like for you to consider. Duality is designed to keep us from the awareness of the wholeness of our minds. Our minds are whole. However, if I'm experiencing objection to anything whatsoever, my awareness of this is blocked. This is the key point. This is the reason one might want to consider not letting the Christian language of A Course in Miracles get in the way of your working with it. My mind is whole. And since, now this is the other key point, since my mind is whole, And everything in space and time is occurring in my mind. Remember, that's very important. That's a true statement for both you and I. Everything that's in time and space is occurring in your mind. It's occurring in my mind. And how am I going to get in touch with the truth of that reality if I keep allowing objections to enter my mind and I make them real by believing them? When I believe something, I make it real. So there is another side to duality, but the path to it is involving no more objections. Now I just want to show you the beauty of this garden. There are about 15 major league gardens in this backyard here. Just look at this. I mean, it's incredible. There's Terry over there. And we will speak to her in just a second. But she has garden after garden with all kinds of things working together. Let me just quickly show you this. A lot of intentional planting going on here. And one of the things I'd like to point out here is that none of the things growing together here objects to the presence of anything else. And I would like Terry to address that point. None of the things in your gardens. How long have you been gardening?
Probably on and off all my life, but intensively here about 12 years. 12 years.
Yeah. And how many gardens do you have here? Do you know?
Well, they're not really separate gardens.
Good point.
Pretty much. I mean, there's the vegetable garden that's fenced in so the deer don't get it. But then there's isolated spots of growing things all throughout the lawn, including the lawn itself, which is, as you can see, there's just a variety of all kinds of flowers growing in the grass. And I don't mow the grass right away because of that, because there's so many flowers.
Okay. So could you just give me one succinct statement or thing you've learned about how nothing objects to anything else here?
Well, nothing objects to anything else, but neither does it approve, of anything else. They just are.
They just are.
But having said that, they are all related and connected because, one plant can serve many functions, and in nature, everything has value, and everything of a plant has value right from the roots that support the microbes in the soil right up to the leaves and flowers that support, bees and bugs, which pollinate our fruit trees and blah, 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 right and up the food chain. So even though nothing objects, everything is connected. Everything is connected. Whether it's through the soil and the microbes in the soil and the roots, everything's related because everything, a lot of flowering things are, feed the bugs and the birds and honeybees. And
so there is variety, but no separation. Everything's connected.
Yeah, everything's connected.
Okay.
Everything relates to each other in one way or another, whether it's giving off carbon dioxide in the leaves or oxygen or whatever, and the air.
I was just in the house and there were two cats laying on the bed, and I only patted one of them.
Yeah.
And the other one did not react at all to my patting it. Why would that be? Because it has no ego. In this entire garden.
No, there's nothing in here has an ego. That's a good
point. Except these two creatures right here.
Us. We're ego's representatives in the garden.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome.
have to keep this video shorter, but we'll do more. So I want to just suggest that you listen to one paragraph from A Course in Miracles without objection to the language. And I happen to have one right here on this bench. So I'm going to read the final paragraph to chapter 21 in the course and make a suggestion. Try, just for fun, going through a block of time without objecting to anything in your mind, because that's the goal. Imagine that, not objecting to having to release every single thing that comes in as an impression that could be objected to. Everything for a block of time, whatever amount of time you think you can do that. If you could do that for an entire 24-hour period, you might have a remarkable experience. I've been working with the Course in Miracles full-time for 9 years. And so you might ask, what is my day-to-day practice like? What is the practical application? Well, that is, anytime I object to anything, anytime I feel like I need to object to anything, I know that that is a lie, that that is not true, and that I will be given the correct perception if I just stay out of the way. Byron Katie works very heavily, she calls it love what is. And there's a deep, deep metaphysical basis for doing this. And so try to hear these words, one single paragraph without objection. Try living one single hour, one single minute without objection. See where that leads, what kind of state of mind that produces. What is the holy instant but God's appeal to you to recognize what He has given you? Here is the great appeal to reason, the awareness of what is always there to see, the happiness that could be always yours. Here is the constant peace you could experience forever. Here is what denial has denied, revealed to you. For here, the final question is already answered, and what you ask for, given. Here is the future now. For time is powerless because of your desire for what will never change. For you have asked that nothing stand between the holiness of your relationship and your awareness of its holiness. All right, from the Garden of Eden. Say bye, Terry.
Bye.
We'll go off into our Sunday. Be well, companions.
Namaste.
Namaste. One love.